Hello, Fightful and Faithful. Welcome to another episode of Sour Graps. I'm your host, Alex Pulowski. And everything sucks. Speak his name and he appears. Wait, just for a second, though.
Bye.
Like they didn't say anything about how long he would be here for
It's a very good point.
once he appeared. Like there's no implied length of stay once he appears. Like we're not saying he's going to be here for a while. Like we're not saying he's going to be here for longer than 5 seconds.
It's pretty much as long as you get the claps of it. I think it's like say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Like after, that's it. You fulfilled the obligation.
Right.
Oh boy, this is an episode of Sour Graps, and this is your review for June 18th. Guys, get in your super chats and your humper chats at humperchats.com. Please leave a thumbs up on this video. It helps us very much in the algorithms. Subscribe to Fightful Select, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Like, what more could you possibly want? More contract news? Impossible. All of the contracts are on FightfulSelect.com. Okay? Yep. You get me and you get Alex doing pay-per-view and PLE post shows behind the paywall. You get access to our Discord. If you're like, I would like to hang out with normal people and not on Twitter, head over to our Discord. You get Sean's Q&A show. You get Sean's backstage report. You get bonus stuff. You get Ask Rhapsody. You get so much, and it's literally $5 a month, and you get so much stuff. And you should totally subscribe if you want to be cool.
Yeah.
And you had an NXT Scoops thread and a couple of other scoop skis. One was about Joe Hendry and how his name was being heavily considered for such a battle royal today.
For an appearance in a battle royal. And they did not deliver that. He did appear in a battle royal.
Say his name and he appears. They didn't say like wrestles for more than 2 minutes.
No, they didn't
say that. That's not how the song goes. So
nope.
Even though the guy he's feuding with in TNA was giving such main character energy in this, but we're gonna get into all of it. So get in those super chats, get in those humper chats, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com if you haven't, because boy, oh boy, we got so much stuff coming up, man. It's a busy little wrestling summer.
We had some ideas for puns, but I just had one. I don't know how this would work, honestly. But considering that Joe Hendry appeared and then disappeared.
Magic puns.
Magic puns.
Magic puns.
Magic puns. Can we do magic puns? Like if the puns aren't coming in, you guys can't think of ones. We have other ideas, but let's start with magic puns because Joe Hendry appeared out of thin air and then vanished from existence. You know what I mean? Like a magician would.
Alex.
Yeah.
They told us. Like in wrestling language.
Right.
We got an entrance and a promo in a match that the style of which is that we don't do that.
Right.
Which means this guy's important and you should listen to what he has to say. And boy, oh boy, sure. Are you going to be so impressed?
I mean, listen, here's the deal. Most wrestling fans do not watch TNA. That's just a straight factual thing. You know what I mean? Like if you take all wrestling fans, let's just say in the United States, and you say, here's a giant blob of them. Let's focus on the portion of the blob that does not watch TNA. It would be most of the blob. So a lot of people may have heard of him because rumblings are from the fans who do watch. But if you had no context for who this dude was, and you're like, oh, this is a guy from TNA coming into this battle royal. I suppose because they've given him mic time and that he is important, and I should look forward to this man at least making the final 4 of this battle royal, featuring all of the jobbers. Look at all of them standing in the ring without an entrance. Jobbers from the main roster even. All of the jobbers are here. And this guy, who's very important because he cut a promo before he entered. You would then be confused as to why he was eliminated first. By another dude who you do not also recognize, probably, who did not get a big entrance with mic time. Because if you don't watch TNA, you would have no clue that Joe Hendry is apparently feuding with Frankie Kazarian. And then you would also probably after this not necessarily go, you know what I got to do? I got to check out that TNA program to see what happens between Frankie Kazarian, a guy I don't know who he is, and Joe Hendry, a guy who was eliminated first in this battle royal. Because like I would stipulate that would not be most people their idea of what to do with this whole there might be TNA guys in the battle royal deal. Like this, what was chosen, what happened tonight would not be the first option people would go with usually.
No. And the other person who got an entrance was Ethan Page, and he went through the second rope and was eliminated second. So
he was never technically eliminated.
Never technically eliminated.
Wasn't in the battle royal, really.
Really. I actually thought he did some good weaving in and out, considering what he's been given so far this episode. But if Frankie, this doesn't make sense at all, because this is like, they told us via the entrance this guy's a main attraction. Mm-hmm. And if he was going to get eliminated by Frankie Kazarian to further an existing angle, shouldn't Frankie Kazarian be eliminated sometime shortly after that? What I don't understand the value of having Frankie Kazarian go another 12 eliminations or whatever the hell, mm-hmm. and then get eliminated and Joe Hendry not cost him in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
I just don't understand why you would do that, especially because, and I think there's validity to certain things, and I think there's a load of crap to certain things, as there are, and oftentimes in wrestling. The perception of WWE partnerships is not very good.
No.
It has functioned in its own silo and universe, and then the work they've been doing in Japan has not been helpful until this Marigold stuff, I think, is much more beneficial. But no one has been like, wow, WWE has really helped the wrestling world as a whole in a healthy way. The perception of WWE NXT, a product which I very much enjoyed, mm-hmm. in the UK, nobody was like, oh, sick, you depleted our entire scene, mm-hmm. to start this, and didn't let them continue to work in the indies, and didn't really feature them in the way that they should have been. So the perception of WWE plus partnerships in general, not mm-hmm. great. And then you bring over like one of, if not the hottest acts from TNA, definitely the hottest male act from TNA. And the first thing you do is have him eliminated first. Doesn't speak to like, we're trying to turn the tide on how the perception goes at all. They did follow up on it with like a short with Joe Hendry that was, it showed me that there was an intended reason for him being eliminated first and in the way he was. I still don't think it's good creative to do that, but it was at least intentional in its badness instead of
well, yeah, but I mean, like,
completely mindless, you know.
If the intended result is to further the Frankie Kazarian and Joe Hendry storyline, you know what I mean? Like, out of this, you have them go through at least the first
8
half,
other guys.
At least the first half of the battle royal. I would say probably down to like the final 5 or 6, and then you have Joe Hendry eliminate Frankie Kazarian, you know, and then he's fuming on the outside about having lost. Then you have somebody pull Hendry over the top rope, and they're fighting on the apron. Frankie Kazarian comes over, grabs his ankle, pulls him off the apron. Because he went over the top rope and he's standing on the apron, doesn't matter if a guy who was eliminated pulls him off. That's the way they book battle royals. I hate that they do it, but that is the rules. If a dude you eliminated pulls you off the apron after you went over the top rope, you're also eliminated. So we get to see Joe Hendry get one over on a guy he's feuding, and then that guy get his heat back by eliminating him, and then they brawl to the back. You know what I mean? And for the entirety of that, you can have Vic Joseph, not so much Booker T because he didn't know what the hell's going on, but Vic Joseph trying to like, hey, these guys are locked in a feud in TNA. They don't like each other very much, and like make it mean something. And when it gets down to just Joe Hendry and a few other guys from NXT and the main roster, I guess the possibility exists. Maybe we might get that crossover of Joe Hendry. Like, hey, we got Jordan Grace got a title shot at the last play that they did. Like, why wouldn't Joe Hendry get a title shot that he would also lose at the next play? It kind of makes sense. So, like, we would be thinking that might happen, especially after they had him do a mic time promo before the match even started. You could do all of the thing that you wanted, which is to further that, without having him get eliminated first, and then have Kazarian kind of like be the main character of the Battle Royal for a bit. You know what I mean? Which, again, is somebody that people don't know because you didn't give that guy any mic time like you gave the other guy. I don't know. Weird.
The only thing that I think could come out of it would be if Joe Hendry has more appearances and if they're on NXT.
I mean, sure.
In a Battle Royal, there's not really, unless he was going to win it, it's not really anybody else that you could like cut his guitar-based diss track on. If he's gonna write a song about Shawn, if he's gonna do a Sexy Boy parody on NXT, like that would be great.
So he's in kayfabe. He's mad at Shawn Michaels for booking him to be eliminated first.
Yeah, well, they did like a backstage with him where he.
I saw it. It was dumb. It didn't make any sense. I don't know why he's mad at Shawn Michaels. It's like, was this your doing? Did you tell all 24 guys to eliminate me first? Well, it doesn't make any sense.
Because they did. Frankie Kazarian eliminated him, but everybody did gang up on him. So I think the idea is like, did you get your NXT crew to rail against me?
Also, it would be great if Shawn Michaels, apparently who is mute, would be able to be like, no, I didn't do that immediately. Like, that is a dumb thing. Why would I do that?
Why would I do that? Why would I invite you to a Battle Royal to have?
Why are you pissed at me because you failed? I brought you in here, gave you a major spot in this Battle Royal #1 contendership match for the NXT title, and you got eliminated first. Don't put that on me, pal. Which then allows Hendry to further internalize it, say it can't be my fault, it's got to be your fault, and then we can have a feud between him and HBK if that's what we want to do. Right there, at this point, like after this, why would I assume that he's going to be back on television if I don't see that digital short?
Right,
because most people don't watch the digital shorts. And why would I assume he's literally anything but a flash in the pan who gets like, why he got eliminated first? So like, if I have no context of him outside of tonight, when he gets eliminated first, they go, well, don't need to worry about that guy ever popping up again. You know what I mean? They didn't make him feel special at all.
I think so. The plus side of this, because everybody said this when AEW worked with Impact TNA too, of like, it doesn't benefit them when people are made to look like this, or if somebody takes titles from another promotion and holds them hostage the way Kenny kind of was. Now we know that his body was completely broken down. Also at the same time, they do gain massive exposure off of this. Like it's something that this promotion in particular needs, because it is not the most viewed and it is also not the most accessible. So you want people going to the WWE pages and social media to see TNA talent. That's important with something like this. And it is the way they benefit, to which I say, and I think the thinking of that is all these guys ganging up on Joe Hendry is going to look like something for social. But I would say if he's in a Battle Royal for longer, you get more content out of that.
Yeah.
And certainly more stuff that is interactive between him and Kaz. Kaz is someone I liked him a lot in SCU. From my understanding, I don't follow TNA that closely because I'm watching and reviewing ROH. But doing some really strong work, like just the same way Christopher Daniels, his partner. It's just very, very solid worker, very reliable. Later in their career, but can still go. Like, happy for him. And he was made to look so great in this that it, to your point, it felt like he was almost like the TNA Impact representative, and he was not the one that got a mic time. It is not going to be familiar enough to people. So But he did look great in this. Ethan Page being out, now we know what the angle was, but he went out so early that I was like, who that anybody cares about is going to be in this? I liked who won. Shawn Spears did some really cool work in this. Him catching himself was well done. So there was some good stuff in this, but a lot of this, my complaint with Battle Royals, my same complaint with tournaments. Like, if you have the opportunity to set up further stories and you don't. Rich Holland was in this, but nobody else from Chase U was. We'll talk about what happened with that whole thing later. There just wasn't like a lot that got set up out of the Battle Royal other than punch, kick, you're out, which is like, you could bring in Sean Ross Sapp to do that spot at this point. My God. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. Just Ricardo says, made a bowl of cereal and only saw him eliminated.
Oh, no.
That's how fast it was.
That's about... I like that unit of measure instead of minutes or seconds. Like, everyone's like, oh, stopwatch, whatever.
Right. No.
How many bowls of cereal did it take?
Tom LaValle says, say his name and he is gone. Never mind. And then and
he's gone.
And Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says Hendry having an issue with HBK gives Joe the perfect reason to do a sexy boy parody theme song like how he used to do. And then what? Because he's not wrestling Shawn Michaels. So, like, Shawn Michaels gets a guy. Is it going to be Johnny Gargano again? Because, like, we already saw this with friggin' Grayson Waller, and it was just like, yeah, HBK, I've got a big problem with you. Oh, I want to fight you. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that, but you could fight this guy instead. And maybe you could fight him on his lawn while his wife watches. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know, like.
Well, his wife watches because she had no reaction on her face.
While his wrestler wife watches. I don't know. Like, it's, I don't know.
With the baby.
I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, he'll probably appoint someone, but, like, also, isn't that Ava's job now? And also, Joe Hendry, like, what we learned is that you kind of suck. Like, he doesn't have a reason to be mad at Shawn Michaels. That is super clear. Like, he just lost. But I guess that's like delusional heel thinking or whatever. I suppose,
but like, yeah.
I feel like we didn't get to tap into what makes Joe Hendry special. And I think there's something really cool about wrestlers who use every possible device to make themselves feel important as a wrestler. Like your Titantron, your character, your entrance music, like he maximizes the potential of everything that's available to him to do the best that he can. And we didn't get to see that today, which is that's a bummer. It's a bummer.
It is a bummer. At the midpoint of it, I was looking around because yes, Ethan Page got taken out through the middle ropes by Oro Mensah, and I was looking at it, I was like, who would you care about who would win this? Like
Tony D at that point.
Tony D at that point. Tony D gets eliminated by Nathan Frazier, which at least furthers their little storyline, which I guess is good. But like you had the friggin' Angel and Humberto down there to like you had Dragon Lee was in the final three. Dragon Lee, who lost to Carlito last night, is in the final three to get an NXT title shot. I mean, Tyler Bate's in it. I didn't think Pete Dunne was. It was just probably Tyler Bate. They've got a match again next week. They got a match last week on. Are they on Raw? Or are they on NXT? Because
they're on Raw NXT.
That's right. They're on Roxt. Yeah. So it came down to Dragon Lee and Javon Evans, who enters the thing hurt. And then then Shawn Spears comes in, and he apparently was not eliminated, and so he gets rid of Dragon Lee, and so it's Shawn Spears and Javon Evans, and Javon Evans finally does eliminate Shawn Spears to win the Battle Royal, and I'm like, all right. I mean, he's great, but I'm just looking at. Like a face versus face, At this point in the night, we don't know what's going on with the rest of it, but like he and Trick Williams are like buddy, and obviously by the time they face each other, they won't be anymore. But I kind of don't have the interest of either one of them like being snippy with each other in a promo battle. You know what I mean? Like
that's the only story that we've seen for Trick. Like truly, we already saw the like you're my friend and respect, but whatever, and then it disintegrate. Like I don't need to see that.
Who was never the villain in a Batman movie? Robin. Because that would be weird. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these. You can fight the Joker or Penguin or the Mr. Freeze. You got.
We should have gotten that. Now I want it. I want a Robin heel turn.
Yeah. So
real bad.
I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of interesting possibilities with this. It just feels like it's too early because obviously Javon Evans isn't going to win, but it's also really early in Trick's reign to do you know what? I've beaten everybody else, but there's my sidekick over here and he won a battle royal. You know what? I'll be a good sport. Like in the grand scheme of things, you just won that title. You know what I mean? So it is a weird play. They like to do these. Remember that ridiculous thing they did with Thea Hale in the submission match with Tiffany Stratton? It was like, this is the wrong time during the reign to do this. You do a stipulation match that the champ has no chance of winning because she doesn't do submissions. You do that after she's already ran through like 6 other challengers.
Yep.
Because the reign is starting to get a little stale. So you throw a monkey wrench in the works. This is just a weird point in I'm sure the match is going to be great, but that's not the point. The point is like, I don't know, like the point is that you don't have a lot of other people available to you right now because you did the Ethan Page thing and had the Trick Williams kick out of his finisher and beat him clean. So like, that is a weird thing to do then to also now insinuate Ethan Page is now coming back for the title as well. We're like, dude, you should be at the backest of the line. Like, go to where the back of the line is and then go another 100 yards so some other people can cut in front of you because you kicked out of your finisher and you lost clean. That's it. I'm sorry. You talked a big game and now you're done.
Also, you should have a huge issue with Ormenta. He's attacked you 450,000 times.
Yeah, he does.
So, like, the title will be there when you get back. Like, you should go and have an issue with Ormenta. He did a great job, I felt like, in his promos. This promotion, I feel like, needed somebody of Ethan Page's. And I'm a fan of the dude, but like his ability to add justifications to everything he's saying. He has that thing Kevin Owens can do, where it's like, okay, A is over there, and C is over here, and D is over there. So if I can make B happen, I can connect this all together. He did some good work with that tonight. And he is also a natural sounding talker, which NXT doesn't have a ton of. So I think he's going to be very valuable. But so far, what they've shown me, the creative, is that he's a chump. He lost clean. His finisher was kicked out of. He got sent through the second rope and couldn't get back in the match. You have to show me that this new guy who's showing up that everyone's telling me is a big deal, he's telling me he's a big deal. Also, just very happy to see him working heel again. He was a good face at ROH and doing other stuff, but like, he's a heel. Dude's a heel. Now I can't even get back in the ring after getting thrown out. I loved him the whole episode being like, the Battle Royal is literally still going on because I was never eliminated. But Javon Evans, he was the only person that anybody cared about from like the back half of this on, which to me also says they do not have enough men's singles talent built up to feel important at all for him or Oba Femi, which is not great. So they got to get to work on that.
No, they
maybe with Duke Hudson.
Oh, we'll see. Chiron Kid says, say his name and he gets eliminated. Thanks, HBK.
They don't believe in Joe Hendry.
Luis says this kind of felt like how they did Karrion Kross on his main roster debut. I mean, kind of. And then
that felt like a slight. This felt like bad booking. Karrion Kross coming out with the NXT title to lose to, what'd you call him? The hollowed out carcass of Jeff Hardy.
Anyway, he says, also, Red Hood, Jason Todd, was a Robin who was a villain to Batman for a short bit. Get your Batman lore right, Alex. Yeah, but that was after he presumably had been killed by the Joker and had to turn into a different guy to come after Batman. I don't think there was ever a Batman comic. I know there wasn't a Batman movie. I don't know all the comics, but I know enough of them to know I don't think there was a Robin who was like, I am currently Robin. You and I have been best friends up until this very moment. Let's fight. I don't think that they usually have to do a whole storyline where he turns bad. You know what I mean? And they didn't do that with Javon Evans. It's weird. Anyway, Bad Apple Jam Tree Beard says, I mean, 2 Robins have fought Batman. One turned into the Red Hood. Nightwing also led the Teen Titans against Batman as well. Yeah, but that was after he was Nightwing then. He wasn't Robin then. That's my point. Like, there was a whole bunch of stuff you had to do to get from Dick Grayson as Robin to Dick Grayson as Nightwing to get Grayson as Nightwing leading the Teen Titans. Like, there was a whole story they had to do. Several of them. They didn't do any of those. So.
Anyway. Simpsons territory for me. I just don't know. But what I like to do, one thing I really like to do to pretty much all my co-hosts is pretend that I'm like too cool for other hobbies when I do wrestling podcasts 5 to 7 nights a week.
Right,
so I'm sorry I'm too cool for your Batman lore.
Right. Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says, oh no, we already did that. What am I doing here? Oh, okay. Luis says that Kaz will face Ace Steel of all people in a street fight at TNA this Thursday.
A street fight? Where biting is legal? Dun dun dun.
Yep. So, now listen. I mean, the stereotype is that all the younger women in NXT look alike. And if you're trying to fight against that stereotype, don't put them all in similar attire with similar hairstyles standing in a line. Like, I knew how all of them were except for one of them, because I honestly don't feel like they've ever told me her name before. But we did find out who she was by later in the night. But like in a row, it was Carmen Petrovich, and then Carly Bright, and then this other girl whose name we found out later, and then Maddie Rankowski, who at least she's a brunette kind of, and Ren Sinclair now. And then Sol Ruka, who I knew who Sol Ruka was, but like,
and she also was really like, she was good in this.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, it did. I was just whatever. And then Fallon Henley walks in, and she's very angry at Carly Bright thinking that she should get a Kelani Jordan,
Carly Bright, whose theme was a knockoff of Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me, by the way.
Yeah.
I said to you.
And Brinley was there. Which is Thea Hale's older sister. So yeah. I
said to you, and you pointed out that I am 24 years old, which makes me too old for this.
You're a little too old for this.
I'm a little too old.
At 24, you're a little too old for it.
I think there's like I'm going to say 60-40 chance that if I just went to the PC with my hair like in a loose wave,
loose ringlet,
but I'd have to have big sunglasses on and probably like an iced coffee and my hood up and be talking about young people things. But if I was like, oh no, I'm a former college athlete, that they would probably just like let me in and be like, I'm a heel, and I have to, my black lipstick is in my locker. They'd be like, right away, man.
And then you say, it's like, oh, hold on. Where are you going? I'm a new recruit. I played Division 4 cricket. Oh, the check's out. You can come in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Division 4 cricket? That tracks. Did you have a vignette about how you played cricket? I'm shooting it today. Okay, great.
Izzy Dame had a vignette about how she played volleyball, also professionally. Like, she's very tall and she's good, but they took away her only part of her that was like noticeable, which was like, oh, she's the heavy for Kiana James, and they drafted Kiana James and she stayed behind. They were like, let's make your character plays volleyball, so I mean, that's cool.
And tall,
which she's very tall. Also, most professional volleybball players.
Yes, at that level.
So yeah,
it does at least make her stand out in the line because they're all like do 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 do. Also, if you have a line of women, can we get a promo situation that doesn't sound like an episode of The View when everybody starts talking over each other?
Yes, I know.
It's like, I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, let them act like human beings.
Yeah, it's true. They should all, I sometimes I wonder why they do this on Raw and SmackDown, where they'll show somebody backstage and then like put like a little nameplate on the bottom, like, yes, we know who that is. We know who Jimmy Uso is. You don't have to show that to us. But if they're gonna be like 6 of them standing in a row, could you just have one? Like make sure that they know which order they're supposed to stand in and go Carmen, Carly, Brinley. Oh my God, look, all these friggin' they just like all these cutesy poo names.
White girl names, like this.
White girl names. They're white girl names.
Yeah.
Or
they could be this.
Yes, this is talent name. Everybody's talent name.
Everybody has talent name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
It's always good when it starts with a prayer.
They gave Ridge Holland a shirt. Okay, so Riley Osborne, the one guy who really doesn't like him, is in the UK this week. Duke Hudson's, I guess, has come around on it. Andre Chase was always in his corner. Thea Hale is on cocaine. And so they give Ridge Holland a shirt that says Chase U, and he puts it on, and I'm like, is he enrolled in classes now? Is that how this university works? If you put on a shirt, you're officially a student?
I mean, if that's the cost of tuition, I would enroll there. Like in a second. Like that would save people so much money if you just had to pay for a t-shirt.
What's his major? Like
I want to know Ridge Holland's major really bad.
I don't like if he's did he enroll? He's 35 years old. So is Duke Hudson. What are we doing here? Andre Chase has 3 students, 4 if you count Riley Osborne. He's at least closer in age than he's supposed to be. Thea Hale's an actual college student. We have 2 35-year-old men hanging around a college campus. That is usually a bad sign.
There are also, when convenient, like 15 other students, though, but that's only when they need a calendar to solve a financial scandal. Your description of Chase U, if there were ever like a wrestling historical society, needs to be a video that plays their loop. Thea Hale is on cocaine. Like, it was beautiful.
Don't understand the university idea. I'm sorry. He used to have, he has a whole bunch of students, right? But they're never around because it's just this group of people. I understand only the most important people in the giant group. We only ever see them together. Like, I get it. However, I don't, is he paying tuition? I just don't understand. Like, we fully accepted you into the group now. Here's your shirt. Like, but I don't, is he enrolled in classes? Like,
what are your criteria for admissions to Chase University is also a good question. Like, did he have to apply? Do you have to win matches? It's all very confusing.
It's very odd, but they're really excited about it. And then here come the Good Brothers to like mock them, right? And Thea Hale, I'm pretty sure at one point does a version of that character that Carl Anderson used to do on BTE. Like the sour boy, like
sour boy thing.
like pretty much does that to mock Carl Anderson, which all right, fine. And then like they decide that they're going to like have a match about the Good Brothers insulting them, and I was like, are they? Because I know I saw the Good Brothers on SmackDown. I know they were there on Friday, and then they were hanging out with AJ Styles. So I don't know. Mia Yim is I feel like she turned heel and face twice in the show.
Yeah, she
like I don't know, man. It's too much.
You could call this episode for her the big show because she turned heel and face so much.
Yeah. So they have a match later. They have a match with it because Duke and Andre Chase are upset because really Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows don't trust Ridge Holland. They're like, this guy is obviously some kind of scam artist. He's fooled all of you into thinking he's a good person. And they're like, oh, well, them's fighting words. Why don't we all meet in the ring later tonight and we'll have a match about it? And then they do. And you get to watch Duke Hudson wrestle, which is nice for you. And then he ends up winning. And the camera angle obscured it, and then they never showed it again. So I feel like they're not... He rolled up Carl Anderson when Duke Hudson had his back to the ring ropes. And what happened was Ridge Holland reached in and put pressure on Duke's back so that Carl Anderson couldn't kick out. And Duke Hudson felt him do this, got the 1, 2, 3, looked at Ridge, and Ridge's like, what? You won. Good for you. And everyone's like, yay, we won in the most honest way possible, just like baby faces do. And Duke's like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. And then backstage, they're really celebrating about it, like how they won. It's great. Riley's going to be back next week. We're gonna be the greatest version of us, says Thea Hale, but she does it more cocaine-y. And then
she does more cocaine.
And then hey, what was the OC complaining about to the ref afterwards? And then Andre says to Duke, were you up to no good in there? I was like, and then Duke's like, I didn't do anything. Ridge, did you see anything happen? You were right there. No, I didn't see anything at all. I'm like, what is this? This is like a very special episode of an after school special or something, where like one friend knows that another friend shoplifts and he doesn't like it, but he knows about it, but he doesn't want to turn in his friend because then he'd be a snitch. But also he feels racked with guilt about it. Like, is this anything anybody wants from their professional wrestling show? Because it is not something I want.
Well, I had fun watching the match. I don't know if you know this, Alex, but I think Duke Hudson's really good at this.
You do.
And I think I'm right, and I think that gets backed up every time he gets to wrestle.
Right.
And Machine Gun is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I get where they're going with Duke Hudson, Ridge Holland wasn't trusted because why would he be on the way in? And now he's on the inside, and now Duke Hudson is like testing, like, are you a snitch, basically, right? Like, are you gonna say something, or are you cool? Like, are you cool? So I get it. I just also feel like the acceptance of it all happened very quickly. Like, we hate you. No, we don't, as a unit. Like, happened really fast. And I think because that also came on the back of really confusing creative with Ridge Holland. Creative that you and I didn't like from a taste perspective, but creative that I felt like they executed poorly with. They didn't know if they wanted Ridge to be a face or a heel perspective.
Right.
Because Sean Spears was like, you're a violent killing machine. And then he was like, no, I'm a student in this fictional university. It was like, oh, okay. So it just feels disjointed, and I feel like even when it's not for us and it's never been for you, it was something that the crowd really liked and was very over, and now it's not even being booked on PLEs. Like, they've run it into the ground.
No, yeah.
And they need to get it back on track or break it up, because now it's like Thea Hale was a top face, and now she's not.
Yeah.
Now they're sending out 5 heels to face a heel in the women's picture instead of her.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that more, that even like when it's not our taste, the fact that they've shot themselves in the foot with it enough that it's not working is a bummer.
I just don't. Also, like the Ridge Holland thing, he shows up to like challenge Ilya Dragunov for the title, accidentally hurts Dragunov, so Dragunov could take the entire month of January off. And then Ridge Holland has a weird feud about it with Sean Spears and also Joe Gacy, who's now a pig in a gas mask. And like,
we need a Pop Popolowski rundown.
I mean, honestly, like it's so weird that like this is what you're doing with Ridge Holland when he came back to NXT, and the first thing he did was like get in the ring one-on-one with the champion, with Ilya Dragunov, who at that point was basically unbeatable, like, and had a long, hard-fought match with him, and now he's like a guy who might be doing shifty, underhanded stuff with a college.
A fake wrestling college.
A fake wrestling college. You know? Oh, weird. Roxanne, Perez, and Lola Vice have a segment backstage where Lola fights is punching one of those fake men that you punch. You know? I don't know what do you call it? There's a specific name for it. It's a punching bag, but it's shaped like a man's torso and face. You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about, but a man who's not a man was very funny. What are those called?
I don't know. There's a specific name for them. It's a punching bag that's shaped like a man's torso and face. Just go to Dick's Sporting Goods and ask them, I would like to buy a punching bag that's shaped like a man's torso and face. A boxing bunny? Training dummy. There you go. Fine. That'll work.
No, they have an even more specific name than that.
All right, fine.
I think they're called Bob bags. Body opponent bags. They're called Bobs. Okay. There you go.
Bob?
Yeah.
Or Robert O'Neill just getting punched in the face for no reason.
That's what you get. That's what you get, Paul O'Neill, for all your Jeff Jarrett love. Okay? Robert O'Neill.
Paul.
Did I say Paul O'Neill?
You said Paul. You got 90s Yankees on the brain, girl.
I always have 90s Yankees on the brain. Listen, you left-handed 3-hitter, huh? Who didn't hit for much power.
All right, okay.
But had a good arm in right field, and that was an important lefty bat during the dynasty years. You listen to me, okay?
Chris saying, I really hope Kate just searched punching bag shaped like a torso and face.
I think let me see, because I didn't exit out. Punching bag shaped like a man.
Okay. All right, fine. Anyway, they're like, Lola's like, don't worry about it. My job until I get a shot at your title is to knock out every woman who's coming for it. And eventually I will come for your title and then I'm going to knock you out. And Roxanne is like, all right, but until then, let's go get this work or what, give them this work or whatever. So we have the triple threat tag match with Jacy Jayne, whose new thing now is that she caresses Cody Rhodes' old mask in a really creepy and off-putting way. Like she nuzzles it with her own face. She takes it off and then turns it around so it's the mask is facing her, and she nuzzles it with her own mask and then puts it on a shrine above the tag, the ring thing. And
giving Helga from Hey Arnold.
It's a bit much. I am not, but yeah, it's weird.
She had a statue of Arnold, and it was like made out of bubblegum and stuff. But the point is, okay. I think it's supposed to be like she's channeling the dashing persona, but it did come across very weird.
Yeah. Well, Roxanne, Perez, and Lola Vice won. Lash Legend was very impressive in this. Jakara attacks and takes the pin. Listen, I mean, it's not an untrue statement. However, just going into the middle of the ring and screaming, I'm a Latina, before you do your running butt to the face move is such an odd thing. Like, why is that your catchphrase? It's not like, I mean, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Like, it was odd.
I like that you just call hip checks running butts to the face, because that's what they are.
I mean, specifically with Lola Vice. Like, that's kicking her butt is her whole deal. And then, like, she does. I'm sure it would hurt. She was got a lot of velocity behind it. I don't understand, like, what her being a Latina has to do with it specifically, because I've seen women of all ethnicities do this move.
Sure. Latina women are not the only ones that can do hip checks and not the only ones with butts.
Yeah.
This was a really good showing for Lash Legends. I felt like the ladder match kind of didn't do her a lot of favors for a lot of the reasons we were talking about. First ladder match, trying not to. We talked about the hierarchy, trying not to kill anybody, trying not to injure anyone. Doing exciting spots. So this was much better. She looked much more comfortable in this, which was nice to see. Lola Vice is great in the ring. Her when she has a motivation as a character, she does very well. When there isn't something incredibly clear and intentional for her to be doing, she shakes her ass and has an MMA background. Like it reverts back. So in a multi-woman match, it kind of felt like a step back, but I think her ceiling is very high just from the combination of attributes that she is. And the more we get to see her put them together, the better that will be. Her and Roxanne feels, we'll talk about how we get there, but like the program, if Julia can't go, and I don't think they want to promise Julia can go for Heatwave, because wrist injuries are a nag, and you want to make sure that is done proper.
Yes. So. Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says Lola doing that would be equal to Kate saying, "I'm a white girl," then dancing awkwardly.
I don't know where you would get the idea that I would do such a thing. I don't know if there's footage of me doing exactly that, but fair equivalency, I guess.
Yeah. So, Roxanne.
Oh my God, it's Todd's birthday in 53 minutes. Happy early birthday, Todd.
Happy early birthday to Todd. I
saw that in the chat.
We will definitely still be going when that happens. However, I will probably be knee deep in discussing something else, and we will forget. So
like Dusty Rhodes is going to be saying weird shit. Like we don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. There are some weird jukeboxes, so stay tuned for that. Roxanne tags herself in after Lola hits the back fist, and then she does an unnecessary Canadian Destroyer. Like she does the pop rocks on Jakara Jackson, who could be declared legally dead after that back fist from Lola Vice.
It's a bit Jakara much. Jackson, yeah.
So anyway, she gets the victory. Lola doesn't like that she did all the work, and then Roxanne tags in, but she does raise Roxanne's hand and kind of like here's my deal. If there was another number one contender already declared for Roxanne, then Lola being like, I'm going to make sure she doesn't beat you because I'm going to, would be one thing. But why don't you just go to Ava and say, hi, yeah, I beat Shayna Baszler. And I also you've seen all the things that I've done. I beat Natty and all this other. Can I have a title shot? Nobody else has laid claim to one versus Roxanne. Could I have the title shot? It's weird that she's not doing that, but is instead protecting Roxanne from non-existent other challengers.
Yeah, and it's also weird that everybody that's coming after her is a heel when she's a heel. But there's at least something that there's at least a logic behind Lola. So that part is good. That part is good. But Alex.
Yeah.
It would seem like Julia can't make it. If I had to lay money on such a thing, if I wanted to place betting odds on such a thing, it would be a very weird line, admittedly.
It would be weird.
For them to have open. But if I wanted to educate myself on things, if I wanted to put money down on stuff, that would not be something I could do it on. But BetOnline AG could probably put a lot of other.
I want to talk to you guys about our great partner at BetOnline AG. Yes, the place that lets you bet on pro wrestling. We've gotten our pro wrestling betting odds from them for years, well before we even worked with them. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about them. They got the earliest lines, the fastest payout, the industry best bonuses. They've been trusted for 25 plus years because of their safe and secure environment and their quick payouts. But you can bet on pro wrestling. How cool is that? If you think you know more than anybody, go ahead and look at those odds. It's the same ones you've seen on Fightful for years. You might see one that sticks out to you and you go, wait a second, there's no way that person's going to win. Why are they an underdog? Make yourself some money. BetOnline AG. And hey, it doesn't stop there. Whatever sports you want, they got you covered. Popular games like blackjack and roulette, Supernova, Skyward, all that stuff. BetOnline AG. Please bet responsibly and only bet what you can at BetOnline AG.
So yeah, probably not on Julia, but they did have things like betting on what states Pornhub was going to be banned in or legal. And so not the weirdest thing. Not the weirdest things about which town's going to show up. But I do know that Corey Brennan will be all over the Julia stuff. So the more headway he makes on that, the more you can stay tuned to Fightful Select that account.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, so your dad sent in a greeting, and I don't want to get too far into the show before we hear from your father.
Well, please.
Elizabeth says, greetings, SGS, Team KLX, and especially JW Pringle. Weather for the Northeast is I'm melting.
It is. It's really gross. It's in the 90s here.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to do some painting this week in my apartment, and we were like, not this week.
No.
Not at 98 degrees, we're not.
Mm-mm. No, it's in the 90s here all week as well. It's no fun. So when I realized that Ethan Page had never been eliminated during the Battle Royal, I was like, well, he's definitely the kind of character who's going to make us think about that, right? And on cue, they did do that. Javon Evans is talking to Ava about this, and Ethan Page comes in and says, "What are we doing about Oro Mensah? That guy keeps attacking me. You going to do anything about it?" And he's like, she's like, I banned him from the building. Awesome. That's a cool thing you could do after the fact. Why do you ban him from the company? Because he just can't seem to stop this. Also, the Battle Royal is still technically going on. I was never eliminated. Listen, it probably would have been a really weird match, but I wouldn't have minded if they see how they put it together. It's Ethan Page. You start the Battle Royal over again. It's Javon Evans. It's Ethan Page. And the match ends when one of them goes over the top rope. A 2-man battle royal to finish it out. I've never seen that before, but honestly, it would be really cool.
Idea. Yeah,
because they can go under the bottom rope to fight each other or whatever. Like the only way to win the match is for one of the dudes to put the other guy over the top rope, and that's the actual end of the battle royal. Like the fact that it would have started the show and then finally finished the end of the show. I thought maybe, but that was like, all right, they decide we're going to have a match tonight. Javon Evans versus Ethan Page for nothing. It's not that if Ethan Page wins, he's added to the Heatwave main event. It's not if Javon Evans wins, then Ethan Page loses something else. Like, it's just a match. And I feel like Ethan Page should have stipulated in requesting the match, if I beat Javon Evans, then I am also in the match at Heatwave. Now, they may eventually do that, but that was not the stipulation laid out. So they were just having a match for funsies when they could have had a match for a number one contendership to the top title in the company. And that's
for contendershipsies. They had it for funsies if you can have something for contendershipsies and you choose to have it for funsies, that's not great. I did love a few things. One, Ethan Page being like, hey, if somebody attacks someone like 5 times, they should probably get fired. But I also like that they addressed it the same episode. There's so many times in all of wrestling where they address it the following week. And I'm like, why weren't you pissed off? Why are you pissed off a week later and at no other point in the night? Yeah. And Ethan Page is the type of talent that someone like Javon Evans should be working with at this point in his career. It's a very good call. Very nice to have some natural sounding promos. I didn't realize, I mean, I guess I did because I'm a Metaphor stan, but like for whatever reason, Noam Dar is not around right now. Right. And he had yes, he's extremely silly. And yes, his booking sucked. But he also has very natural comedic timing. And he sounds like a ridiculous human being, but like a human being And I was like, man, I missed having a promo that sounded so authentic. Right. But Ethan Page has that, and it's nice to see. Sean Spears has that. It seems like people that have left this ecosystem and come into it have just a different approach, and it's one that I like. So I like a lot of the justification that we got here, and I like that it was addressed in a timely fashion.
So, Kelani Jordan had a match versus Michin, who I remind you lost in 3 moves to Nia Jax. The match itself lasted a minute and 20. But 3 moves were done by Nia Jax to win it in succession. She ran over her, hit an elbow drop, and then did her bonsai drop, and that was it. That was how Michin lost in a minute and 20. And she has a title match tonight. And she comes out, and the Good Brothers are with her. But Michin's always been presented, I think, like tweener, heavily leading babyface. You know what I mean? And the Good Brothers are definitely heels. Now, it's not saying they can't all be friends, but like they can't, because that's not how WWE does business. And so everyone's got to be this or this. I'm sorry, that's what they have to be. That's what they've always done. So when they don't do that, the shades of gray really make my eye twitch, because I'm like, you have to pick one because you always do. It's weird that these are the only people who get to be shades of gray. The match ends because OTM come down, who are heels, have always been heels, and can only be heels. OTM can. To fight with Gallows and Anderson about something completely separate. This is before Gallows and Anderson have the match versus the Chase U, because that happened later in the night. I just bundled that whole story together, so I only had to talk about it once. But like they have this fight, punch them up with the with OTM, and then later in the night they go on to lose to a different team. It's bad enough that they're on NXT and a SmackDown. Why are they involved in 2 separate storylines? Like, it's just anyway. Michin loses because Jada Parker runs in a Jackie Robinson jersey and shoves her off the top rope, so allowing Kelani Jordan, who didn't see it happen, to like do her moonsault and get the victory. So like she's untainted because she didn't realize that somebody else won the match for her. But like Jada Parker has also been entirely heel. Are we turning all of OTM babyface to feud with Gallows and Anderson and Michin? Because that seems like you're not doing that right. So,
especially because it feels like they haven't. They're different people on the main roster and in NXT, and now they don't even know who they are in NXT. And I don't know if it's them trying to align those things.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doubt it. I think Kelani Jordan is very good in the ring. And Michin, when they let her actually do moves that are more than getting smooshed, is really great. And I thought everybody played their parts well. And I'm interested in Michin versus Jada Parker very much. But
we saw it last week, and Michin won, which ended Jada Parker's win streak. And like, I guess
at least we're going back to it.
We're going back to it to get Jada Parker get her win back, but she never should have had her win taken from her. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather it mean something, though. You know, like I would rather
it's better
it means
than that,
something.
I suppose.
But the lack of synergy between the NXT and main roster is annoying, and then it just feels like they want Michin Mia Yim to be tofu. They want her to take on whatever flavor they need of whatever feud they're in. True. And even as a vegan, I can't allow that. Yeah, like it's true. She deserves so much more than that.
So Nathan Frazier is backstage in the locker room getting, I guess he's about to get dressed. And Axiom comes in with a turtleneck and says,
not blurry at all.
No. It says, why are you in the battle royal? Like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm surprised you weren't. It's a shot at the NXT title. But besides, he eliminated Tony D. Maybe he'll give me a shot at the title at Heritage Cup. Why are we doing that? We are the current tag team champions. Can you not focus on one thing, please? And Nathan Frazier is like, I have ADHD, and I'll thank you not to make fun. Yeah. It's because one guy's like, let's focus on the tag titles, and the other guy's like, I would like all of the singles titles as well, please. And we've just, it's a weird thing to find guys who are not happy with each other about that. You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of like it because I don't think it's something we see a lot. Like,
well, it's fine, provided it doesn't lead to them breaking up.
Yeah,
because they don't have enough tag teams, and this one's a very good one.
This one is a very good one, and even more than that, Alex, is I don't have faith in them to properly book them as singles competitors. I do think the possibility of A-Kid and Axiom coming back is a fun thing. I would love this storyline if it was the end of the Acclaim's run and they were doing it and Bowens was going after singles gold and split them up. That would be awesome.
Can we trade storylines
from company to
company? That'd be good. Hey, so Luca Crucifino comes in. He's fully showered from him being in the Battle Royal. He's wearing a suit now. Like Nathan Frazier's still sitting there in his tights that he wore in the Battle Royal an hour and a half ago. And Luca Crucifino fully like mobbed up. It's nice. And he comes in like, Mr. Frazier, I have here a contract notarized by Ava Rain. That's not her name anymore, but I'm going to say it anyway. Where Tony D'Angelo is offering you a shot at the Heritage Cup next week. And Nathan Frazier takes the thing, looks it over, signs it, hands it back. And AXM's like, what are we doing? It's like, what? Like, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to be double champion. It'll be awesome. I'll get my Heritage Cup back. It's like, we're off next week. Next week, they're going to do a tag team turmoil to figure out who they're going to face for the thing. So, like, Axiom is like, we should, like, rest up and see who we're going to face because it could be anybody. Like, think of all these big bruising types. We might find, like, literally anybody from the main roster could show up. It could literally be Ramblin' Rabbit and the guy and Mercy Buzzard could just show up and become. Why not? They could just do it. They'll do that. They'll ruin them that way. And so, like, they could. Axiom's got a good point. Like, you know what I mean? And so we'll see next week. Nathan Frazier versus Tony D'Angelo will be a very good match.
Yes.
And we will see what else happens, you know.
I also thought they did a good job of when Axiom was like, what were you doing in the Battle Royal? And he was like, what weren't you doing in the Battle Royal? Like, it just feels like they're not on the same page, and it feels very human. Like, it's not like a cartoonishly drawn out thing. So I liked it. I went to crucifinolaw.com, and it doesn't even seem like contract law is his thing necessarily. I'm starting to think there might be something a little crooked about these guys, but
could be.
I still am very upset he does not have an extremely over the top accent, but I just have to accept it.
Mm-hmm. I think he had it, but then he lost it when he went to law school, you know,
that could be
more legit.
That could be
more legit. I mean, listen, Robert Duvall was the consigliere of the Corleone family, and he did not have the accent that everybody else did. Like, it was very faint. You know what I mean?
Okay, but but I want it.
Okay. Fair enough.
We've been over this. Wrestling program should do everything that I want.
That's fine. That's fine. I want Oba Femi to be champion forever. So
I'm in on that too.
He comes out and I swear, I don't know what it is about it. His style in street clothes is
it's so great.
It's so perfect for him with these medium like button ups, like just like he's got his bursting out of the biceps and the big huge like necklaces. Like, it's so cool.
It's because it doesn't look like the shirt's too small for him. It looks that there's no shirt that can contain him. Like, not a single shirt. He could get an extra large, and it wouldn't matter because he's gonna be bulging out of it because he's the strongest man in the world and he's the best, and I love him so much.
He comes out and he basically says, you know, nobody could beat me. I took out Joe Coffey and Wesley at the same time, and then Wesley comes out and he's like, you didn't pin me. And I so wanted Oba to say, when you jumped off the top rope with your knees to try to meteor me, and I caught you and put you into the ground, I could have pinned you for 45 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, is this true? No man had been powerbombed harder than Wesley was that particular moment. I honestly wanted, like, after he powerbombed Joe Coffey, I wanted him to do a Roman Reigns. Pick up Wesley, drop him on top of Joe Coffey, and pin them both, because he beat both dudes. Like, I mean, like, whoo. Anyway, Wesley's like, I came back to get a one-on-one match with you. And Oba's like, this doesn't make any sense. No. He also doesn't mention that Joe Coffey pinned him in the tag match last week.
Yes.
Like, probably should mention that, because that was also some stupid booking. But he's about to leave, and like Oba says, "Don't you turn your back on me. I'm coming for your titles." Like, okay, fine. I will give you. I will give you. Not you've earned it. I will give you a shot at this title. But when I win, that is the last shot you will ever get at this title while I am holding it.
And he's never going to drop it, so that means.
He says, "Do we have an accord?" He doesn't say, like, "Is that okay with you?" Like what do you say? He was like, so it's like, if he doesn't say, so what do you say? He says, "Do we have an accord?" And I'm like, he's the best. It's so great. Like I don't know what it is. He everything about him feels authentic to not only who the character is, but who this guy is.
Yes.
It's so great.
NXT doesn't always strike that balance.
No, they really don't. They really don't. So Wesley's like, you got it. We're good. Also, during this, we watched Brooks Jensen be violently arrested in the nosebleeds of NXT. And then later we see Eddie Thorpe getting interviewed outside about how he didn't win the Battle Royal and how that's fine, because I'll just win all the titles anyway. That we see him being arrested way in the background. Yes. So,
So he's continuing to do that. He keeps saying his contract is up Friday. Workity. But I respect it. I respect it quite a bit. But he's found something. There's been some stuff that I haven't been a fan on that he's been doing on social media that I don't want to get into on here. That I just feel like went too far with things a little bit. But this, the central core of this character is very good. Like, I think it's good to have. I don't have anybody just fucking shit up. We don't really have that right now. In him, I like that he's not supposed to be around, and he's being creative about the ways that he is choosing to enter the NXT ecosystem, in a sense, is something that's refreshing, because it is very trope heavy. And so to see a refreshed approach on how to go, I think is very good.
Now, I mean, obviously, we were poking fun at him originally, but now at this point, he's beached us because it's a term of endearment. Okay. So the fact that Beach turned out to be like a really good performer,
both of them,
honestly, both of them, but in a way that I did not think he had this in him at all. When he was playing like affable virgin, did you think he had also psychotic guy in him? Because I didn't. And here's the other thing. It honestly feels like he went up to Lexis King and says, "Hey, listen, I know you don't want to do the loose cannon thing, like your deck. Can I do it?
Can I take that?
Can I if you don't want to do it, is it fair game? Because I would like to do that. You know what I mean?" And I love that he says you're going to see Ben Buchanan soon, using his actual name. It's cool. I would love it. I would love to see where they go with this, because he's got enough chops to pull off this thing. We will definitely see where this goes. But yeah, him continuing to be arrested at NXT stuff is very funny.
Yes. This has been refreshing in a program that definitely, whether you like it or not, it's a lot of A plus B equals C, right?
Yeah.
This is not that. And I appreciate that very much.
Yep.
And he is pulling it off, to your point. That's kind of one of our biggest complaints with NXT, right? Is that we get such surface level stuff that we don't actually know what people are capable of, which comes along with a developmental program for sure. But hey man, he's using every resource that he has to make this work. And I'll always respect that. And I think there's something interesting about this character and this environment in particular that I think could really click in. Click in for sure.
Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says, give me Oba versus Gunther versus Breaker in a triple threat for every title in both WWE and TNA. Winner takes everything. I like straight up. I mean, Gunther's a whole different animal. I'd love to see him versus anybody. But Breaker versus Oba is a thing that both guys are very young. In 5 years, you're going to see that main eventing pay-per-views.
Maybe WrestleMania.
At that point, perhaps. It all depends on what program they're doing with what guy at what time. That's what main event is. I don't want to say this is a main event match.
Because it could also be The Rock versus someone. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But I think they'll be the guys that feel that important.
The Breaker spearing the guts out of everybody, but then hitting Oba and Oba kicking out of it is those are some amazing stuff that we have to look forward to. Luis says, add Jake something on that mix for Meat Madness, please. Thanks.
Oh my gosh, Jake something's he's something.
There was an anonymous thing where they were watching Joe Gallus being super angry about Wesley being given a title shot, even though he pinned Wesley last week, and the other Gallus boys trying to calm him down, and then in comes Team Bouncy Beef to beat them up, and then there's a big brawl backstage, and so I guess we're doing Joe Coffey has a legitimate gripe. It doesn't make sense for you to have Joe Coffey pin Wesley and then have them enter into a feud with Team Bouncy Beef. It doesn't make any sense for that.
No, and they can't decide if Team Bouncy Beef singles or tag act, right?
Right.
I do appreciate that he was pissed off because of wins and losses. Of things like that, where he pinned somebody who is now getting a one-on-one match. Right. Those are the things that I think we're getting more of that we didn't see for a really long time of call me crazy, victories and losses determining some sort of creative direction. Yeah. But Alex, the thing with Wesley and Oba Femi having a one-on-one match is that, sometimes people aren't always so prepared for one-on-one matches. And it can be kind of embarrassing. Sometimes there's a noticeable size disadvantage and you need a little bit of help. BlueChew.com.
We've been telling you guys about BlueChew for years and we ain't stopping anytime soon. That confidence, that performance, that edge that you're going to get in the bedroom and mentally when you check out BlueChew.com and the code Fightful. First shipment free. Yes, shipment. That's because you don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy, have any awkward conversations with doctors. You're questioned online, and if approved, this ships straight to your door. It excludes all the awkwardness. Now listen, so will that confidence. That's going to get rid of a lot of that awkwardness as well. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You know it's going to work. They know it's going to work. And that's why they're willing to give you that first shipment free at BlueChew.com when you use that code Fightful. Take control. Handle your business. BlueChew.com and the code Fightful.
So is the implication that like a 1-on-2 match would be easier for you to handle and you wouldn't need BlueChew? Or a triple threat? You're muted.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Sometimes the videos do things where they start to loop back around and then they quit. And that's why my microphone is still muted. But I'd imagine if you were in a triple threat, that would be an even more pressure-inducing situation.
Because like when you said sometimes people aren't prepared for one-on-one matches, but you are prepared for a fatal 5-way.
Well, I'm not saying that those matches are less pressure. I'm just saying sometimes a match catches you off guard.
Yeah. Okay. So Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says Braun goes to spear Oba and Oba just catches him and doesn't move, like Superman stopping a runaway train is a spot I want to see. Now I feel like that's too much to ask from Oba because like Braun's got some heft to him and some velocity. However, if we ever get Ricky Starks in WWE, Ricky Starks is going would be the greatest thing ever because Ricky Starks, he's very, very good. That's a good spear, but that man is much smaller than Oba Femi.
It's so funny because a spear is like, hey, I heave my body at your midsection. Yeah. That's all a spear is, really. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not even that great of a move.
Right.
But like Ricky Stark's spear and Braun's spear are so different.
They're very different things, yes.
And it's just wild, like that you can do that with the same move.
Tatum, by the way, did accept the open challenge for TNA against all odds.
She looks great.
She did. So good for her.
Give a good promo after too. I like that she's still fixated on gold. Because it was like a different championship and stuff that she was like, if it's not NXT gold, it could be this gold. So still kind of like creepy Goldie, which I like.
Mm-hmm. Hank apparently has been injured, but he's back. Tank did a lot of things in the Battle Royal.
Yes,
he was again among the parade of jobbers was Tank, and Tank, whom I like, but is indeed among the parade of jobbers. Hank is like, I'm cleared, so we can get back to doing our tag thing, and they've like laid out basically a challenge to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate for next week, who again are doing nothing on Raw, while R-Truth is meeting with fortune tellers and thinking he's going to fight Ron Simmons and Bradshaw. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what they say, Alex? The new Catch Republic, same as the old Catch Republic. They just have no idea what to do with these guys. But with Hanky Tank, I was very glad to see this logo again. I mean, it's a knockoff of ours.
Yes, it is.
They wish.
Yeah.
They wish. It's definitely not that this was created once we saw that they have it.
No.
But I love ours.
Yeah.
I mean, would I rather see them do anything than nothing? Like, hell yeah. But they should be tag team champions instead.
Yes. Good night, birthday boy.
Good night, happy birthday.
So they finally brought Tavion Heights to Charlie Dempsey.
Yes.
Charlie Dempsey is again more skilled of a performer than I thought he was going to be. Because he's been very dry in a lot of what he's done.
But his dad's always flirting with pastries and
I know,
stuff.
But like, but they haven't let him show any part of this personality.
Yes.
So I like this. Things like Davion, do you have any idea why we called you here? No. I want to offer you a spot in New Catch Republic. And Davion's like, that sounds great. Playing hard to get. This is funny. This is cute.
This is cute. I mean?
And it's like, well, how about this? You versus Damon Kemp next week. And if you win, you're in. Sounds good. All right. You drive a hard bargain. I did like him also yelling while looking away from Miles Bourne, yelling at Miles Bourne. Why didn't you tell Tavion Heights why he was going to be here? And Miles Bourne eventually looking like, I can't hear what you're saying because Miles Bourne is deaf. and it was a very I can't read your lips because you're not looking at me, and I can't hear what you're saying. Here's what the deal is. I did find out though why Charlie Dempsey is so enamored with Tavion Heights.
Oh, really?
Not his amazing skill in the ring.
No.
It's not his athleticism.
No.
It's that they get the same haircut. They have the same exact haircut. It's just one guy's black and one guy's white. It's the same exact haircut. It's the same exact haircut. And I can't. Touché. You look at them in that scene, you cannot not see it. They have the same haircut. They go to the same barber, and they both say, "Give me that. Give me the number 4," and it's that one every time.
I did not notice that. I doubt they go to the same barber for the reason that you just said. That one is black and one is white.
It's the same haircut.
I've had a consistent complaint, which has been that since Drew Gulak has left, and he should be gone from the company if somebody's intentionally injuring talent that's an unsafe worker. Right. But since he's departed, though the right call, the personality has not been there with this group, and I've made that criticism a few times, and now we're seeing it, and that makes me very happy because that's the thing about my techers, man. They got to have the personality because the ring style begs for it a little bit. Yeah. And this was good. He has timing and he gets it. So this was nice to see.
By the way, if they give them time and don't muck it up with weird booking, like Damon Kemp and Tavion Heights could be like one of those sneaky great matches.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
Big time.
Both guys are really good workers, and I'm looking forward to seeing that next week. Fallon Henley defeated Carly Bright. Carly Bright came out with the lady I didn't know who she was, and her name is Kendall Gray. Apparently, they're a tag team on Level Up, but I don't watch that show, so that's who Kendall Gray is. She just looks like Carly Bright, and so that's why I guess they're a tag team because they're twinsies.
Okay, but what if I told you she stood behind her?
Right. So Carly Bright and Fallon Henley are having a match. Fallon Henley also decided to come out as Cowgirl Cruella DeVille. Like she was wearing a floor-length white and black spotted
I kind of loved it.
fur coat. And I was like, Cowgirl Cruella DeVille is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that kind of rules, not gonna lie. I was like, that's sick.
Cruella Cowgirl. Cruella Cowgirl. No, it doesn't like Cowgirl Cruella Girl. That's good.
I was so confused that Carly Bright's theme, I mean, almost note for note, was Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer.
Yeah.
If you are under 30, even though I am, I'm just an old soul.
Right.
You are not going to understand that reference because they were a bit of a one-hit wonder, Bewitched, whose album I had on CD. Okay, I believe the single. But as soon as I heard that, I was like, what is happening?
It was it's from She's All That, right? Where she comes up
down the stairs.
Down the stairs?
Yes.
Kiss me.
It's the nerdy to hot girl transformation scene. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Who was the male lead in that? Wasn't it
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Wrestling legend Freddie Prinze Jr.
Wrestling legend Freddie Prinze Jr.
There you go.
Yes. Another gem from Booker T. She has that Texas thing going. Oh yeah, man. For context, Fallon is from Florida and Bill from Michigan. So she's got that Texas thing going on.
She's Bill from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Midwest gals.
Yeah. Anyway, Carly Bright only loses because Kendall Gray is standing there, and out comes Wendy Chu. Whatever this Joker Chu, I don't know what the hell she is. Your sleep paralysis demon shows up behind and then chokes out Kendall Gray, and Carly Bright is very upset by this because Wendy Chu and Carly Bright had this weird stare down in the locker room last week.
Yes,
but I guess Wendy Chu set her sights on Carly Bright.
The timing of this is tough with the Wyatt Sickos sixes being on the main roster. Right. But man, there is nothing that they can give Wendy Chu that she cannot do. She's fantastic at this. And Carly Bright does have an authentic seeming innocence about her. I think I made this comparison last time of the Wendy Chu being like how Karma was to a Kelly. That plays here. Like that plays perfectly. Of just like absolutely in fear of what Wendy Chu is. Could be really fun.
I realize what they're gonna do. They're gonna have Wendy Chu corrupt Carly Bright and turn her into Carly Dark.
I'm so mad at you.
I know you are.
Why would you speak that into existence?
Yeah. Can Wendy and Nikki stop being so friggin' good at being terrifyingly spooky women? I got PTSD from The Ring and The Exorcist, says Louise. Yeah.
Really good. Nikki was such a
she's great.
Just phenomenal last night. Just phenomenal.
So Eddie Thorpe was interviewed in the parking lot while the Beach was getting arrested. Thorpe says he's going for everybody's gold, he says. So Kelani is in Ava's office with Robert Stone and Stevie Turner, who are now apparently both Ava's assistant. And I need her to have like 6 or 7. I don't know what the square footage is of her office, but I want it entirely packed like sardines with unused talent just standing around trying to get a word in edgewise to help her book the show, including Odyssey Jones. Like, he's not doing anything on Raw. Odyssey Jones in the corner, standing back there, having ideas for stuff.
Shinsuke Nakamura, just an Ava assistant, would be great.
Yeah.
And Stevie with her blonde hair, you think would be in a locker room squabbling with people.
Yeah. You would think, but she's not. No, she's not. Now because she's doing comedy gags. She like Robert Stone, like here. Kelani says, I was just thinking that the person who should have the title shot next for my title is somebody who doesn't complain and doesn't think she should get things handed to her. And in walks Ariana Grande. I do not know if the door to Ava's office was just wide open, or if she was just literally standing off screen with all of the other fake assistants and just stepped forward and said, "Oh, it's you shouldn't talk about people when they're not around. Well, you literally have to be in this same room in order for this camera shot to work. But thank you for giving me a title shot." And Kelani says, "I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about Sol Ruca." And she says, "Oh my God, she surfs. But I'm so much better than her." And Robert Stone has the idea, why don't you prove it next week? And Ava says, "Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you, Robert. You versus Sol Ruca next week, and the winner will have a shot at Kelani Jordan." And Stevie, if you watch her through this whole thing, she's really, really angry anytime Robert Stone gets an idea to work. Like, she's trying to like usurp his position as unofficial assistant GM. But they haven't done that as a storyline, but that is obviously what she is playing during the scene. And I just can't wait for all those riveting scenes we're going to get in the future of Stevie Turner trying to stab Robert Stone in the back.
I mean, if Robert Stone's history is an indicator of the future, I don't think Stevie has a ton to be worried about. Yep. I'll just put it that way.
And then Horse Girl is very, very upset in the locker room about
Cruella the Horse Girl.
Cruella, yeah. Cowboy Cruella. And she is she's too bad. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like how Sol Ruca is getting an opportunity. Ariana, she wasn't even involved in the thing. And Jacy Jayne is like, she comes in with Jazmyn Nix and like, you're upset. We just had this tag match and we didn't even get pinned, and so we're really upset too. And so there's like an alliance between Cruella the Horse Girl and Double Mask. It's one of them serves an actual medical purpose, and the other one is I don't know, her precious, like why she fondles Cody Rhodes. Did Cody Rhodes have any like interactions with Jacy Jayne before he gave her the mask? I don't know.
I just think it's nice that when one double vest door closes, a double mask opens, and it feels like our dear double vest and the Beach have moved on.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's nice that we have a double mask. A double mask in the Knicks, as they say.
Yes.
I do appreciate that, again, though, like using wins and losses and stuff to assert things moving forward is good. It is a little chaotic. I always think about Emily C says it's a very overstimulating show to watch, and it's like the perfect thing to say. Like it's a lot. It's a lot.
Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says, "Oh yes, how could I forget week 2 of Manifesting the Mega Blondes tag team managed by Kate."
What's the leggy blonde onion here?
So we get Ethan Page versus Javon Evans with Trick Williams on commentary. And Ethan Page wins. Which, like, good for Ethan Page. He shouldn't lose matches, but also, like, if this match is for the he's the number 1 contender now, or at least he's co-number 1 contender. I mean, he is because of the ridiculous stuff that happens after the match, but like he beat Javon Evans like clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, and he tossed him a great deal far with the Ego's Edge.
Yes.
But like, yeah.
It made me wish even more in retrospect that they had that protector finished, because it looked that finished protected, because it looked so good tonight. Yeah. He's just such a good in-ring storyteller. It made me very happy to see this match. Yeah. I thought maybe they were going to go like the Proving Ground route, where he beats Javon Evans and says, fine, if I also beat Trick one-on-one, I got a shot at the title, because I will beat both the 2 guys that are set to be in that match. Was my thinking at this point. Yeah. But it was very weird that it was not for a contendership. But now it would seem as though that is not going to be the case.
Right. So after the match, Ethan Page gets out of the ring to go and talk to Trick Williams, like, hey, I guess I'm the number 1 contender now. I'm like, that should have been stipulated in the match rules. But while he's talking with Trick, Shawn Spears runs down and starts attacking Javon Evans. So Trick Williams runs in and starts tries to help out, but then Ethan Page gets involved, and so now they're both beating up Trick Williams. I'm like, I guess we get a tag team main event next week. That'll be good. But then Javon Evans does his springboard double cutter,
ridiculous,
to both guys, and then when he lands, he like awkwardly reaches over and grabs the title belt and throws it into the middle of the ring so he could stage the final shot, which is all 4 men writhing in agony with the belt in the middle. So we're getting a fatal 4-way at Heatwave. Like, you did a battle royal with TNA talent to determine a number 1 contender, and it's very possible by the time Heatwave rolls around in like 2 weeks that we are going to have extra 2 number 1 contenders. The rendering the battle royal basically meaningless. So I guess it doesn't matter that Joe Hendry was immediately eliminated first, because he wasn't going to be the number 1 contender anyway.
Yeah, it's not good. Because they also should have been like the final 4 in the match, or like it should have come down to something like that. Like,
something like that. Yeah.
Would have been
so that was your main event. Ethan Page defeated Javon Evans. So
I have an overall vibe check question for you.
Overall vibe check is.
Yeah, and I know that the vibe is sour. But, like, does Trick Williams feel lost in the shuffle of his own title reign? Not just from a booking standpoint, but, like, just a lack of overall kind of excitement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They do not know how to book champions. JHBK is terrible at this. Like, he doesn't know how to book.
It's not even just a wins and losses thing, though. It feels like they're,
Or, like, he doesn't know how to, when I say book, I mean present on television.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Trick Williams beating Dragunov for the title. Like, after all that thing with Mello, and he finally gets Dragunov one-on-one again and beats him after losing to Dragunov one-on-one twice before. Like, it's a huge deal. And like, what you have for him afterwards is nothing. You have to scramble to figure out what you're going to do. Is it going to be Noam Dar for a while? Like, Ethan Page signed it. Like, that wasn't a plan. That was just a thing you did because you got Ethan Page all of a sudden. And now you're going to have him face like in a fatal 4-way where like Shawn Spears was absent from TV for like a month. He was feuding with Ridge Holland and then Joe Gacy, and then he was just gone. And he did a weird I'm going to teach the kids how to do stuff.
Stable. Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, and now he's probably 1/4 of a fatal 4-way. And again, your biggest PLE of the year, not named Stand and Deliver, because it's at the Toronto Scotiabank Center. It's a major whole weekend, and you're like, let's just throw these guys in the mix who they didn't plan to have anybody there to actually be in position to challenge a new champion. They don't do any of this very well.
Yeah, that's where their method, I think, backfires on them. Of if you do stay very true to wins and losses, it's very obvious who's credible. I prefer it from a taste perspective too, but their idea of screen time is what determines you're over.
Trick spent a month with Noam and Lash just to not have a match with Noam and randomly break up with Lash in the parking lot. They called up Ilya, Dijak, Braun, and Mello. The main event scene got gutted. One of those 4 guys is not on television. He's on the main roster. That guy could just be there having an awesome match at Heatwave with Trick Williams, especially if he's if his contract is up soon or whatever. You do a whole thing of, this is my last shot. He said it in a promo, and I'll never forget it. Dijak says, I am the greatest wrestler in WWE history since Jake the Snake Roberts to never hold a title. This is my last shot. I'm coming for you, Trick Williams. And if I don't beat you, I'm done. That's my promise. And he has an amazing match with Trick Williams. Trick Williams beats him. Bye-bye, Dijak. You could extend him for a month or whatever to get to this really cool thing, because Dijak's a really good dude and would know what that would do to put over Trick Williams. Sure. Because Dijak understands he's been one of the best workers they've had on this brand forever. So yeah, it's a really good thing. It means a lot for Trick to be able to beat him. You work in an actual storyline for him to get to leave. But no, let's draft him to Raw and put him on main event once in 2 months.
Yeah. Not to be all Manny and Brennan about it, but leave, Dijak. I hope you're leaving. This being in Toronto makes me feel like Ethan Page is going over, right? Maybe that's why they put this off an extra month.
Ethan Page pinning somebody else who's not Trick Williams. This is the thing I wanted. I wanted Ethan Page to become the champion and Trick Williams to chase him, because they know how to book heel champions.
Chases, yeah, and they know how to book chases.
Number shit. And then, but babyface champions, they don't know what to do. So,
I don't know if Trick is going up or not, but it doesn't feel like he's ready to me.
Yeah. BCA says, hey, remember when Carl Anderson was a runner-up in the G1? Me neither. Luis says, I do, which is why he should not be losing to Chase U in one segment match where your schoolboy. And he just says cuts feed. So I don't know.
Oh no, is the Wyatt 6 here? I don't like that.
Meet Norma says it's too hot for a meet and greet outside, but if you're going to Dynamite tomorrow, hit me up in the SGS Discord. Meet is for lovers. Yes, Fairfax, Virginia, in Meet Normus's neck of the woods.
You want to know what's cruel and unusual, Alex? I'm going to Collision on Thursday in Allentown with my cousin. You know who's booked for Wednesday and not Thursday?
Who?
A certain British fella who everybody always sends in puns about for me.
Zack Sabre Jr. That's tough. It's tough for you.
Sorry. It's tough life, but I get to see Osprey on Thursday. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander.
Ye the heck, paw. Let's go.
Okay, puns. There we go. Magic puns, because Joe Hendry disappeared almost as fast as he appeared.
Yes.
Luis Polito says, Hechicero. He's the magician or whatever.
There you go.
Magistral and Kevin Nash as Oz. Lieutenant Colonel Photo says Hogwarts House of Black. Louisville says Abracadabacato.
Oh, that's so good.
That's really good. That's really good. Doc Chris Mueller says Harry Houdin Malenko.
Very nice.
Tyrone Kidd says Christopher Fallen Angel. Mind freak. Doc Chris Mueller says Hugh Jack Mansour stars in the Prestige and Knox.
Very nice.
Lieutenant Colonel Photo says Crystal Ball Elite Wrestling.
Crystal
Ian
Ball
R
Elite
says,
graphic would be nice.
Yeah. Ian R says Dynamo Oba Femi. Chris Pereira says 3-card Montez Ford. Chris Pereira says the Wizard of Oz Cutter.
Very nice.
Chris Pereira says Ron Wesley. Not Ron Weasley. Ron Wesley. Lieutenant Colonel Photo says the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardlow. Doc Chris Mueller says Edward nor Tony Storm stars in The Big Illusionist.
Big Illusionist. Mm-hmm. Magnifique.
Chris Pereira says Magic Trick Williams.
Very nice. It's right there. Didn't
there.
even think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully done.
Lieutenant Colonel Photo says Pixie Dustin Rhodes. Ian R says Transmutation Team 2000.
Forever posse that people send in ZSJ and Techno Team 2000 puns for me. Thank you.
Ian R says Zach Shaman Jr.
It's like a shaman saying dickhead all the time is fantastic.
Chris Pereira says Bam Bam Big a Loaded Dice. Tom LaValle says Druid McIntyre.
Druid McIntyre.
Ian R says Levitation of Domination. Chris Hightown Spurs says Witch's Brew McIntyre.
Very nice.
Lieutenant Colonel Photo says pull a rambling rabbit out of a hat. It's just a bunch of huskus puskus.
This one I had to pull up from Allie because my God, Levitatum Paxley.
That's good.
Fantastic.
Ian R says Gimmick Foley. Chris Perez says Mentalist and your boy. Lieutenant Colonel Photo says cast a spell using your magic Wandy Richter. Chris Pereira says chin up, tits out, and watch for the one deck shoe. Electric Mayhem says Penta El Cerro Miedo and Teller.
Very nice. Very nice. No Nigel McGuinness puns on the magic yet. Just saying.
Electric Mayhem says Abracadabadon.
Very nice.
Hocus Pocus. And the Luchador Houdito. Just Ricardo says Magic Mike Santana.
Aw.
And insert clever Tegan Knox pun says Harry Potter and the Order of the Tegan Knox. Penta El Cerro Magicians. It's a spook day. Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Okay. Some jukeboxes. Yes, you have one. Sorry.
Should you work?
You have to do one thing.
It's so much easier just to make you do things.
Okay. There's a lot of bronze here. That's going to ruin my throat. Oh no, you have two, and one of them you're really going to hate. So that's good.
Oh no.
Braun Strowman does a Magic Man by heart. by just Ricardo. Here we go. Cold late night so long ago, when I was not so strong, you know. Pretty man came to me, never seen eyes so blue. You know, I could not run away. It seemed we'd seen each other in a dream. Seemed like he knew me. He looked right through me. Yeah. Come on home, girl, he said with a smile. You don't have to love me yet. Let's get high a while. But try to understand. Try to understand. Try to understand. He's a magic man. Get these magic mans.
My God.
Heather. Oh, okay. No, let's see here. Tony D sings "Do You Believe in Magic" by
underrated band. Heart.
Love it. Louisville requests "Do You Believe in Magic" as sung by Tony D. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? The music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. If the music is groovy, it makes you feel happy like an old-time movie. I'll tell you about the magic. It'll free your soul, but let's try and tell a stranger about a rock and roll. Whoa. If you believe in magic, don't bother to choose. If it's jug band music or rhythm and blues, just go and listen. It'll start with a smile that won't wipe off your face no matter how hard you try. Your feet start tapping and you can't seem to find how you got there, so just blow your mind. Do you believe in magic? Okay. Okay. Tiffany sings "Kiss Me" by Sixpence None the Richer.
Okay. Get these ads out of the way. Kiss me out on the bearded barley, nightly beside the green, green grass. Swing, swing, swing your spinning step. You wear those shoes and I'll wear that dress. Kiss me between the milky twilight. Lead me out on the moonlit floor. Lift your open hand, strike up the band, and make the fireflies dance. Silver moon sparkling, so kiss me. Toodles!
Very good. Okay, so Electric Mayhem wants Braun Strowman to sing Quad City DJs "Come On, Ride the Train."
Come on, ride the train. Ride it.
Come on, ride the train, choo choo, ride it. Come on, ride the train, choo choo, ride it. Come on, it basically is just that over and over again. Hold on. Come on, ride the train, it's the choo choo, ride it, woo woo. Come on, ride the train, the choo choo, ride it, woo woo. Way deep down south, well, we play this game. It's some Quad City DJs, and yo, we call it the train. So if you want to ride your thing, just come on down the train. We're going to rock. Ooh, Lord, just jump aboard, baby. So get your next of kin, your sister and your friend. Pack it up, that choo-choo. Ride on this choo-choo. And boo, you need to stop faking. Come on with me. I want to take you home with me, be alone with me. And I can see you hide it. Come on, just divide it. Please don't knock it until you ride it. So all the girls you know, I'm calling your name. Michelle, Tamika, and Tanya want to ride this train? Ride out now. Come on, ride the train. Choo-choo, ride it. Woo, woo. Get these trains.
The hesitation made that. These trains.
All I can think of. Okay, so all right. Heather says, "Hi Alex and Kate. I and all the SGS. I miss Regal on commentary. So can he please read me a bedtime story of your choosing?"
Oh, is this the same Heather who's bragging in the chat about how she is going to see ZSJ tomorrow in Fairfax, Virginia? Lucky.
In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush, man in the mask. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. Good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. Good night, socks. Good night, little house. Good night, mouse. Good night, comb. Good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. Good night to the old lady whispering hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noses everywhere. Sleep tight, little Charlie."
That was sweet.
Get it?
Yeah, because Charlie Dempsey. I got it.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. Bad Apple Jam Treebeard says, "Because I hate the storyline between Liv and Dom, can we have Kate's Blink-182 sing See My Vest from The Simpsons?" This is everything that Kate hates in one request.
I don't hate The Simpsons. I just don't know The Simpsons, but I do hate Blink-182. They're terrible.
There you go.
But Travis Barker's a really good drummer. But The rest of them suck. Anyway, some men hunt for sport, others hunt for food. The only thing I'm hunting for is an outfit that looks good. See my vest? See my vest. Made from real gorilla chest. Feel this sweater. There's no better than authentic Irish setter. See this hat? 'Twas my cat. My evening wear vampire bat. These white slippers are albino, African endangered rhino. This is disgusting to read with your vegan grizzly bear underwear. Turtlenecks, I've got my share. Beret of poodle on my noodle, it shall rest. Try my Red Robin suit. It comes with one breast or two. See my vest, see my vest, see my vest. Toodles.
Pretty sure you were requested to do it as Blink 182, but like, because we've seen you do your very good, whatever the hell that guy's name is. But I mean, it's up. Listen, it's fine. They got what they.
Oh, I so defaulted to Tiffany. Oh, I'm so sorry that I did that wrong.
That's it. It's enough. Good.
I will not sleep tonight. I screwed up that super chat. I hope that's better.
All right. Okay. Braun sings "Midnight Train to Georgia" by Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Just had tonight a couple of things related to the puns on the same topic as we always do, and then just like Braun in trains.
Mm-hmm. He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Yes. Says he's going back to find a simpler place of time. Whenever he takes that ride, oh yes he is. Guess who's gonna be right by his side? And I'll be with him, I know you will, on that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Yeah. Woo woo. I'd rather live in his world than live without him in mine. Her world is his and hers alone. Get these pips. Okay, Luis Polito has one final pun, Daddy Magic, so that's good. And then Bad Apple Jam Treebeard to sing Wyatt's theme, Shatter by Code Orange. Okay. You can throw it all away when things break, things shatter. Keep it written on your face, the little details matter. Only in me, I am the coil, I'm the spring, only in me. I'm the ghost in the machine, only in me. Recount confession, give no release, only in me. Only in me where your stain ever lived to be. Die for me, brother, know not what you've seen. Love one another, know not where you've been. Lie for me, brother, know what you said. Use me for color when things break, things shatter. Get this 6. Okay. All right. Hold on.
Oh my God, we're seeing it happen.
Hello. Tom
Ricky!
Valley says Ricky Rainbow sings the final countdown for GOB.
I can't believe you just broke kayfabe.
What's gob?
Like
OB.
When there's like you ever get like a gob of jelly or something?
Yeah, but he spelled it out like it was an acronym, and I don't know what it stands for. We're leaving together, but still it's farewell, and maybe we'll come back to Earth. Who can tell? I guess there is no one to blame. We're leaving ground. Leaving ground. Will things ever be the same again? It's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, we're heading for Venus, and still we stand tall, because maybe they've seen us and welcome us all, yeah? Where's so many light years to go and things to be found. To be found. I'm sure that we'll all miss her so. It's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Final countdown. Thank you.
It's really A, the passion, and B, when you're like in your upper register a little bit. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Do you like that, or do you like? Are you familiar with Bryan Danielson, the wrestler?
Sure.
Do you like that theme, or do you like that you're gonna get your effing head kicked in theme?
Well, I like this. I myself am from Europe,
right?
So I'm partial
to
the Final Countdown.
Sure.
Who's done by a band called Europe.
That makes sense. Story tracks.
Fantastic. Right. Well, someone else is here to do a thing.
Oh, really?
Hey, baby, it's me. Hold on here. So, I did now. Lieutenant Colonel Photo says, "Can we please have Dusty explain the full booking we came up with for Wyatt 6 last night? Brandy, Liberty, Pharaoh, and the whole shebang gang." So, listen. So I did watch the show, so I understand it. But this is something I would have booked back in NWA. Like, this is something that's fantastic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have Wyatt, the Wyatt 6 gonna show up, and they're gonna target my boy Cody Rhodes, but then they're gonna sneak into his house while he's defending the title somewhere. And
who's gonna do that? The Wyatt 6?
The Wyatt 6. The Wyatt 6. They're a bunch of sickos, but they like to kill people in guerrilla. I don't know if you've seen this, but if Monsoon was still alive, he never would have allowed it.
No.
But anyway, so they're gonna sneak into Cody Rhodes' house. They're gonna tie up Brandon Rhodes, right? They're gonna tie her up and gag her, leave her there, and then they're gonna kidnap Liberty. And then Cody Rhodes are gonna show up and go, "Oh my goodness, my wife's been tied up, and they've kidnapped my baby girl. Where is she? Where has she gone?" And then they're gonna find Pharaoh, and Pharaoh will have shaved into his neck a QR code that you can scan with your phone. Where I need to find my daughter. I gotta find my phone. Hold still, Pharaoh, so I can scan your neck, and then I'll find it. There it is. I'll
look something like this,
neck. It's an artist representation of what this might look like in real life, but again, they put it on the shoulder instead of the neck. It needs to be on the neck, and so then with scan the QR code, and it's going to lead to to the Google Maps, maybe Apple Maps. I'm not really sure, and then it'll be like a latitude and longitude in the middle of a swamp. And they'll go there. It'll be like the White compound. And when they get there, they'll find Liberty, but she will have been tied to the dark side.
Oh no!
And then Liberty will be there. It'll be horrible for Cody Rhodes.
That would be horrible for Cody Rhodes, and he would do anything to prevent that from happening. Maybe even say, "I quit."
There you go. We forgot. Hold on. That there would be a voicemail left on Cody Rhodes' phone that just says this. "Scan the dog if you want to find your daughter." And then that would be really good. But it would be more like in Taken or something. It'd be like, "Scan the dog if you want to find your daughter," or something like that. We're not really sure yet, but that's basically what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes will systematically destroy all members of the Wyatt 6 by himself, and then he will turn Liberty back to the good side by giving her one hug. And she'll nuzzle her face up against his patriotic neck tattoo. And the forces of good USA-ness
will win.
The forces of patriotic goodness will then turn it back to goodness.
I think you got Liberty, you got Pharaoh, you've got Brandy, you've got Cody. That's 4. Right. Could get 2 more in there. Take on the whole faction.
The Street Profits for no reason at all.
The Street Profits for no reason at all.
Just because they like to help out everybody. Well, Bobby Lashley is hurt. They like to help out everybody. They're helping out Kevin Owens and everybody else. They're nice fellas.
It's true. Good guys.
All right. That's it.
Well, I love that booking, and I hope that it happens so sincerely. Yeah.
Yes.
We always appreciate you. How's Wrestler Heaven doing?
It's all right. It's all right. I'll tell you what. You know what? This is true. Bray Wyatt was such a proud papa last night. He was sitting there watching the TV with all of us. He just like, this is everything I ever wanted. And it was nice. It was a nice little moment there.
Not the ghost of Dusty Rhodes making us actual emotional. How dare you?
Yes. Anyway. All right. Well,
Good luck in bingo.
Move.
Toodles.